Hi, I'm Greta.
And I'm Claudia, and welcome to Knitters and Critters, where we talk about all things Critical Role, and of course, our own knitting projects.
Well, let's dive into the Critical Role part of the episode, because this was a doozy.
Oh, yes. A lot of sticky stuff.
Yes. Oh, no. Spoilers. Well, this episode 5, is called The Threat Between the Walls, and it begins with our little merry band of adventurers surrounded by the Corsairs and on the verge of a fight before one of those hooded figures comes forward, a half-elven man called Yash, who I really thought was Yasha at first when Matt said it. I'm like, Yasha's here? What? No, just Yash. Disappointing, but here we are. Yash says they have one chance. Tell us why you're here, or we're going to end you. So Imogen and Loudna come forward and say, basically, we're here for Duggar. He killed one of our friends. What the hell's up with that? Yash kind of takes this information in stride, which was surprising to me. Mm-hmm. But he says, before we can even have this conversation, or you can even leave for that matter, we're going to need some collateral. Give us the names and locations of some of your loved ones. It shouldn't be a hard ask, but with this group, apparently, it was like the worst thing he could have requested. Ashton gives up fresh cut grass for whatever that's worth. And Imogen seems like maybe the only person with family, because she gives up her father's name, which is Relvin. But even he is really distant, so it's not like the Corsairs could even reach him, probably, at least not soon. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the collateral given, Yash offers up what he knows about Duggar. Duggar joined the Corsairs, but he disappeared for about 2 weeks, 6 months ago. And when he returned, he was really sickly and obviously just very changed. And like the tiefling that the group had met last episode, the Corsairs also kind of thought that maybe Duggar got addicted to something. Mm-hmm. After this, he started to withdraw, and he eventually left the gang. But the Corsairs do still keep a tab on him.
Yes.
Not that it really seems to have told them all that much, because they didn't know that he was doing anything with Brimstone, and they had no idea that he could now apparently control shade creepers.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the wealth of information that I think the group was hoping for, but Yash was able to give them Duggar's address, which is certainly helpful.
Oh, yeah.
I loved this whole interchange because Yash was like, who are you people? What is wrong with you? You shouldn't be out on your own. What are you doing here? Yeah. And I was laughing so hard at the end of that scene when Fern was like, earmuffs. Should we tell them about Esteros? Oh my God, Fern, try to be at least a little subtle.
Yeah, she can.
She can.
It's not in her wheelhouse.
So I'm sure that will have some interesting repercussions in future episodes, but we'll just have to stay tuned.
And they know a great person.
Yeah. Whatever that means. It's so helpful. So after meeting with the Corsairs, they decide to go to the market and stock up on some supplies before they go to Duggar's house. Mm-hmm. They really want to get some more healing potions, which is such a great idea.
Yeah,
they're
this group.
Oh, God. And they're so squishy still. It's an early level.
Yeah.
But even at more advanced levels, I mean, our party is always looking for healing potions.
Yeah.
Just because the farther you get in the game, the more resource management seems to matter. So let that be a lesson to you if you're new to D&D. When you have the chance to find a healing potion, take it.
Yes.
This little quest eventually leads them to Advic's Wandering Curiosities, which is a little emporium-type store. Advic, you may remember, has some kind of history with Ashton. Mm-hmm. We're not really sure what, but it's probably not great given Ashton's, characteristic reticence to talk about anything about his personal life.
Yeah.
But they do score some healing potions of dubious origin, as well as
they look a little cloudy.
Yeah, they don't look the most pure, shall we say. They've been cut with something. But they also get some sending stones to kind of augment the people who don't have messaging spells. As prepared as they can be, they head out to the the place where Duggar lives. I think it's the Wandering Walls. I can't remember the name of it. That's probably completely wrong, but just go with me. We're on a journey. They get to Duggar's place and find it boarded up, and like they can smell it from the outside, which is not a good sign.
Never.
They do like a little bit of quick reconnaissance and determine that it's most likely empty, so they decide to break in, and maybe they can wait there for Duggar to return or get more information about what he's doing. The attempt to open the door obviously goes awry.
Doors.
Fern turns into a rat to try to slide under the door and gets stuck. And then Ashton tries to pick the lock, and he's successful. But I think it might have taken him a little bit too long because a Simurgh patrol warden lands in the street just after they get the door shut behind them. And this kind of raised my hackles a little bit. I don't know if you noticed it at all, but when the warden landed, he looked around and they said something like, "I just don't trust it." Which seems like a weird response to have when you just saw a breaking and entering in process. Mm-hmm. But he flies off and we don't really hear anything more about it. But I don't know. I thought I'd mention it in case any of you all also thought that was weird. Odd. I love a conspiracy theory, so drop us some comments below. But anyway, the group is in Duggar's house, and it is nasty. There's stuff dripping from the ceiling. It stinks. Yeah, there's oily residue everywhere. Sticky. It's like every frat house you've ever been to, but worse. And it's been ransacked, which is the weird thing. Matt kept mentioning it was ransacked, but nothing looked stolen. There's just so many weird things about Duggar. If you have a house, why stay at a tavern that's not that far away from said house? We don't get many of these answers in this episode, but what they do find are several holes in the wall. Not much of a surprise there. Fern, still in her rat shape, goes in to investigate and almost immediately hears this squelching sound. You know it's not going to be a good thing. So she hightails it out of the hole just before this gelatinous Duggar creature squirts out of it and plops on the floor.
Bad birth scene.
Yeah, it's the birthing video we all saw in high school. Yeah, not good.
No.
Well, unsurprisingly, a fight kicks off immediately, and it turns into one hell of a battle because they're not only fighting Duggar, they're also up against all of his shade creepers.
And getting stuck everywhere.
Getting stuck to the floor.
Yeah, stepping on really strong gum.
Yeah. And poor Laudna is too weak to release herself from anything. So that was half of her turns was just trying to walk across the room.
Yeah.
There was a really cool moment with Laudna and Fern, though. They kind of teamed up and did their little witches be bitches move, which Matt really rewarded, which I thought was so cool.
Yeah.
I do think we should rename our channel Witches Be Bitches. I'm sorry to tell you. No, I'm kidding. It's such a good name. We should make a sweaters or something before they completely brand it. The episode wasn't all highlights though, because Imogen went down hard at one point. I think she was down 2 death saves. And fresh cut grass went down. I think Fern might have gone down at one point too. So it was a nail biter. Yeah. But there was some pretty clutch healing in there that saved everyone from, well, it's half the party from dying immediately. Yeah. And it was Dorian who got the "how do you want to do this?" He unleashed this thunderwave spell that basically made Duggar explode.
Yum.
I thought it was so fitting that Dorian got the "how do you want to do this?" because I think that had to relieve some of the guilt he was feeling.
I think he was carrying a lot of guilt over Bertrand because, he was the one who, could have pulled him, could have been stronger, but I don't think the way the story was going that was going to happen.
Right.
But still, Dorian would feel like if I had tried harder.
Yeah, if only I had done more, maybe Bertrand would still be alive. Yeah. So it was fitting that he got that, I thought. I also thought it was interesting that Duggar exploded when he died.
Yeah.
Because the shade creepers did that too, and I know this is very metagaming, but I thought there was some kind of monster that explodes when you kill them, and I thought, oh, well, maybe that's a hint as to what corrupted Duggar in the first place. I can't think of the monster, of course, off the top of my head right now, so if you know, let me know.
Let us know.
Let us know. I love talking conspiracy theories.
Yes.
So fun. Well, there's not much to find at Duggar's house. They don't really find any more clues. There's no brimstone. It's just It's just gross, and they decide they want to get out
nasty.
of there. And they are able to get out before anyone, except for a nosy neighbor, sees them. But luckily Dorian's there to flirt them out of trouble.
He's so good at that.
He's so good at that. I think most of this campaign should just be Robbie and Matt flirting with one another.
I'd be okay with that. I'd watch that.
Come on, that'd be entertaining, right? They go to Estros's house to tell them basically what they've learned. They take some of the goo, hoping that maybe Estros can do some kind of CSI shit to it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any information for them at the moment, but he does give them a pretty sizable bounty for killing Duggar and avenging Bertrand's death. So the group is able to retire for the night, enjoy their victory, and it was a pretty sweet ending to a pretty nasty episode.
Yeah, it was really gross. It was really gross.
Yeah. Did you have any highlights of the episode that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, I did like definitely that it was Dorian who got it. For the reasons that I said. Also, something else, I liked the fact that when Fresh Cut Grass went down, he reset.
Yeah.
And that was, I wasn't expecting that, but of course, as we all know, when our machines go down.
Yeah, when something crashes, it crashes.
Yeah, there was some good teamwork.
Yeah.
Again in the battle, which is really nice to see, and I just can't get past that birthing scene. I think of it as
so
a
gross.
birth. Yeah, just, no.
Yeah. Good job, Matt. You grossed us all out.
Yeah. And I watch a lot of, horror and true crime stuff.
Yeah, and you're like, Dr. Pimple Popper is one of your things?
Yeah,
I cannot do.
And I'm all good, but this was like, oh.
That was your limit. You hit your limit. Well, awesome. Let's switch tracks and talk about some knitting.
Let's talk about the knitting.
Yeah. So what are on your needles this week?
So, I'm going to show something I finished. There is a service that my local yarn shop, Cream City Yarn, does, which is they take a skein of sock yarn. You can buy it there, or you can, bring your own, and they turn it into a tube.
Oh.
So basically, all you need to do at this point is, separate it in half at the toes, at the cuffs, at the heels, and then you get a pair of socks.
That is brilliant.
And Jude Harper of Stranded Dye Works has amazing tutorials on how to do this, because you basically are just given a tube.
Yeah.
And the reason that I chose that was because I'd wanted to have socks with this colorway for a long time.
Yeah.
It's called Heart of Apple. So basically it's like if you cut an apple in half and you see the little seeds and everything. So I felt that any sort of cables or texture or lace would kind of not really show up on this pattern, not really let the yarn shine.
Right.
So, which meant just doing stockinette.
Yeah.
And doing this much stockinette on that gauge on a size 1 needle.
Oh, dang, that would have taken you a long time.
That is a lot, even for me. So I got the yarn, I got the service at Cream City Yarn, and I got the tube, and then I just followed your Harper's tutorial. Nice. And I added, and now I have a finished pair of socks, which is really nice. And I mean, it's not a Christmas colorway, but it's really festive. It's the,
out pretty
the red and the green. So I'm very happy with that. I would recommend their service. And
nice.
they can
ship,
mail you,
right?
Yeah, they can mail you.
Okay.
The thing that I'm working on, my current work in progress is, did you watch the movie Knives Out?
Yes.
Okay, such a great movie. There's another one coming out.
I didn't know that.
I think Daniel Craig is having a lot more fun playing Benoit Blanc than Bond, which, like, the last one, apparently he didn't even want to do.
I have such problems with that movie because it should have been so good. But you could tell that I don't think he wanted to be there. It was like they were paying him by the word because he said almost nothing during that whole movie. But I digress. We're talking about Knives Out, which is a great movie.
Oh, it's so great. Plus, you get Chris Evans in really good knitwear.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen so many Chris Evans sweaters, patterns pop out that might be Steve's next sweater. Anyway, so at one point, the Benoit Blanc, Daniel Craig's character, is the investigator, but the main suspect is this girl named Marta Cabrera, played by Ana de Armas. And at one point, she wears this striped sweater.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just a striped sweater. There's nothing exciting about it, but it just looks so comfy and so cozy.
Yeah.
So I had to start my own Marta sweater.
That is beautiful. The color work, I love.
And this is a yarn called Cirro by the Fiber Company. And it's so good. It's so squishy and cozy.
It is really
and
soft. Ooh.
All I did was, and I'm sure she will do this for you too, I sent a picture of the sweater to the manager at Cream City Yarn, and I said, I want to make this. She picked out the colors.
What?
I did tell her the sweater in the movie has lilac, which is a very, very bad color for me. I look like I'm made of mustard if I wear lilac. It's not good.
It's not your friend.
It's not my friend. So she picked out the yarn. She picked out the color. She's like, this one is this one. This one could be for this one. And all I did was go and pick it up because it's local to me. But, they would ship that to you. So I am very happy with that because it would have taken me, 5 hours to pick out all the colors and make the switch from the lilac to this really pretty, it's a bluish gray.
Yeah, blue gray.
And the yarn is just delicious to knit with.
Yeah.
So
what gauge are you using on this bad boy?
I think this is a 5.
Okay.
I think this is a 5 needle. I'm just using a pattern for a sweater that I've made before and kind of copied, based on the thickness of the yarn and everything. So
cool.
I am very excited about this sweater. So some artificial tree bits. So yeah, I like it. I'm hoping to hit the sleeves and body section soon. Yeah. And I'm very excited about it.
It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see it all done.
I'm excited.
Speaking of all done, Nadia's blanket, the Boulevard blanket I've been working on by 5410 Studio, I think it is done.
Oh my goodness.
It's so nice and squishy, and
look at it.
I think she's really going to love it. Yeah, I'm excited to wrap it up and put it under the Christmas tree. And
she is going to love this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's going to be really cute.
Yes, it is. We need a picture of her little toes.
Yeah. When she opens up her Christmas presents, I'll try to snap a couple pictures of my littlest gremlin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just finished that last night actually.
Very
I'm
exciting.
Freshly on the hunt for a new project to do. So hopefully maybe even something Critical Role related, since that's my shtick.
Yeah.
Speaking of Critical Role, I just started Kith and Kin, the Vox Machina book that just came out. It's by Marika Nijkamp, who is an amazing best-selling author. She's also an acquaintance of mine. We used to have the same literary agent, but we're still at the same agency.
Okay.
So fingers crossed I can convince Marika maybe to come on and do a little interview with us. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Publishing House Sisterhood?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Witches be bitches, right?
Oh, that's awesome. So, how are you liking it?
I like it a lot. It's, obviously it takes place before Vox Machina got together.
Right.
And it seems like it'll be going into some of the backstory, maybe to do with the clasp and how Vax kind of got involved with that. So I think it's going to be good. Like I said, I'm only 3 or 4 chapters in at this point, but
very cool.
It's going to be good.
Nice.
Well, this has been great talking to you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. Please show your love by liking and subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate that. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.